All right. Okay, good. Now I can record a meeting now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very glad to have you here. I believe you can hear me. If you don't, let me know, okay? Send me a message and I will see it. Welcome to ADS522. This is foundational course to pave the way for you to succeed in your journey throughout your program in master in our big data program. Oh, hi, Yvette. Okay, great to have you. I have started the recording. Basically, I'll limit the this section to 40 minutes. Actually, it's the limit of the Zoom room I have. And I think for the first meeting, this shall be sufficient. Okay, then I will cover some housekeeping issues because this is our first class. I will go over the expectations, topics that we'll cover, assignments, and including the projects and the material that I would expect you to use for this class. Okay. So let me see, 1 second. Let me see if I could share the screen. Share, okay. Yes. Okay, yes, I think it's this one. Let me see. Let me see. Per portion of the screen. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me see. I'm sharing my screen with you right now. So 1 second, please. Launching the sharing screen right now. So you can see my screen, and whichever portion I go over, you shall be able to see it. Launching. Don't know why it's taking a little bit optimize. Okay, can you see my share screen? Hello? Can you see the screen I'm sharing with you?
I can see it. It says launching, but that's what I can see.
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
can see launching as well.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Then that shows you should be able to see it. All right, good. Okay. And 1 second. Yeah, this and here. Okay, so can you see the ADS522 data analytics? Data analytic 1, the screen that I'm showing you.
My screen is black right now. I don't see anything else.
Mine too.
Okay. Sorry about that. A little bit. Okay, let me stop and then redo the retry. My sharing option. Share my screen. Okay, computer sound only. Yeah, screen. Okay. 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 All right. How about now? Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so so now I'm going to go over a little bit. So this is a first meeting, so don't be too nervous. Sit back and relax for the first week, and then we will gradually pick up our speed, our pace down the road. But that being said, it doesn't mean we will impose a lot of assignment on you. Okay. This should be an enjoyable learning process. So as I introduce it to you, and if you have any question down the road, let me know. Okay. I'll go over all of it and cover some essential content and show you this week is actually very pretty easy, and I'll tell you what the software to use. Okay, so here is when you click on home, you'll see our tutorial videos that once you click on it, you shall see many R videos for you to watch. Okay, you don't have to watch them all. You can do you can you can watch a little bit every week. Actually, each video is not very long, within 3-4 minutes. So absolutely doable, won't take up much of your time. And also, I would say if you watch these videos by the end of 4th week and gradually work on your R skills, you shall be able to handle the R project that you will work on in the end of 4th week. Okay, we shall have a midterm R project and a final R project. We don't have a midterm test. We don't have a final test. Okay, so that's good thing. That means it's pretty hard for you to fail. Okay, and not I believe you should be able to ace this class without too much effort. Okay, I mean, you put in reasonable amount of effort and you can expect good results. Okay. Okay, so that is R for you to use. That being said, and this is using R for descriptive statistics like mean, standard deviation, variance, and so forth. Okay, and that being said, you can use Excel, which I believe you should have some experience using Excel already for the assignments. So I would say you use Excel and you use R hand in hand. I would say you can use use Excel for most of the assignments, and then use R for the project. Okay, midterm and final project. Here are some Stat Talk videos from the Pearson website. We'll give you more in-depth knowledge of the course materials. Okay. Excuse me. If you open Stat Talks, there are some videos explaining to you for example, what is an average that you already know. You can skip it if you don't, if you already know the concept. But for example, what is variation? What is quartile? What is standard deviation? We know standard, we know deviation, but when we put standard deviation together, what is standard deviation? And normal distribution, and so forth. What's p-value? So by clicking on those, you will understand the significance of them and how do you use them in practical in a real world scenario. Okay, then let's move on to introduction. I mean, on the module 1, organizing data, you have introduction and so forth. I would expect you to give a brief introduction of yourself, what's your name, where do you live, and your goal in pursuing the master degree in data analytics. Okay. Okay, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. Sorry about that. I just fixed my car today, so spent the whole day fixing my car. Okay, my name is Stuart Huang. I got my PhD in applied statistics in University of California, Riverside. That's also where I live right now. And I have been teaching in higher education universities and colleges since 2007. Teaching statistics is what I do. Okay, and I enjoy teaching in interaction with students. Okay, and I have no doubt that you are on the right track because data analytics is a very hot topic, and as we are stepping into 5G era, we have more need for data scientists, data analytic professionals than ever. Okay, data is accumulating in a way that's never unprecedented manner, in a way that's never before seen. Okay, so that is me. All right. I teach at the Bay Path since a year ago, and so I enjoy this new program and new experience. Okay. Right now that was me. So I expect you to put introduction, and and then click on class overview. You will have an overview of what we want to do in that week. Module 1, we shall learn organize data in a graphical and numerical way. You describe data graphically and you describe data numerically. Okay. Then I have some PowerPoint. I have PowerPoint file also from publisher. Depending on how much time we have, we shall cover it as much as we can. But as I mentioned, the week 1 is not so difficult. So we'll just do it on the run, in a sense. And here are some Excel tutorial videos for you to use in order to solve for the questions in the text in the Pearson's website. Let me see. Yeah. This is from another textbook, but we don't require you to purchase that textbook. The material is readily available online, so you just click on that link. You will see materials in Excel and in StatDisk. Okay, and by the way, if you use StatDisk, that's okay for me too, because they have an online version, cloud version of StatDisk. You don't even have to download it. Okay, you can see how to use Excel to construct a frequency distribution, histogram. Okay, histogram, a scatter plot. Use Excel for descriptive statistics, box plots, and these are, and then up to this point, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slides are actually have covered our chapter 1 contents. Okay, and for the sake of time, I won't do all of them for you, but we may come back and cover one of them. Okay. Okay. So, and in your, let's go back and we have discussion. I will leave discussion optional. We don't have we don't score this for discussion forum. But if you have any questions or any homework issues, feel free to post it here, and I will answer your questions in a timely manner. Okay, and or you can discuss questions with each other in this weekly forum. Okay, let me see. Okay, so basically every week is similar, and then when you click on module one assignment, that will bring you, you will open it in a new window, and that will bring you to the Pearson ADS522 data analytics, which I saw that some of you already signed up. Okay, this is a good thing. You make no delay in sign up this for yourself. That's good. Okay, and oh, fantastic! I see that both of you have already signed up. Okay, so you are good to go. And now let's see what else. Okay, so this is a little bit overview. Let me go over more assignments for you. So if you check on the assignment, you shall see that actually I have made all the assignments available to you now. We have 8 assignments. Each week you shall have 1 assignment, and the time you will spend working on these assignments, I would say from 1 to 2 hours, doable. Okay, as I have said, this is not I don't impose a lot of workload on you, and you should be able to learn it in without spending too much time or effort, but while you're learning useful materials. Okay, using Excel and R specifically, and if you can also try StatDisk, which is if you click on StatDisk, and you will see that you can choose to download it or not, but I would say it will suffice to use a cloud version. You see a new cloud-based version of StatDisk. Okay, all you need to do is to open an account for yourself. Okay, and you're in, right? Okay, sign in with your Google. Okay, we don't require this textbook mandatory, but you can decide whether you want to purchase or not. It's not required, but useful. Okay, and all right. So you have these assignments, and then as I have mentioned in February 3rd, we have midterm art project. If you want me to open it earlier for you, I can do that too. All right. If you are all done with the assignments earlier, and I have final art projects. Okay. So we have 2 art projects and 8 assignments. We don't grade the discussion forum, so that's all you need to to finish all the deliverables every week for this project. Okay, let me go over some of the questions this week. Okay, all right. So for module 1 assignments, what I will do is to go over these questions in a quick way and then come back and then go over the PowerPoint, so you will pinpoint or zoom in the questions you need to focus on and make your study more efficient. Okay. All right. So this is our first question, and it shows you have 3 columns, 3 variables. One is rank, the other one is country, and then speed. All right. With these, you are required to see, oh, is rank quantitative or qualitative or quantitative or continuous? Okay. So basically, in our data analysis, in analyzing data, we need to know what kind of data it belongs to. We have qualitative, which is categorical, which is names, and we have quantitative, which is numerical. And so you can, based on that, you can easily determine, figure out what's the answer for each questions. So country obviously is what? Categorical. And speed is what? Numerical. Yeah. All right. Then here we see rank. Rank is a little bit tricky because it obviously is numbers, but you don't do mathematical operations with these numbers. So in a real sense, it is categorical. All right. So it's categorical. All right. Because these numbers are like factors, are like categories. All right. They are not to be treated numerically. Okay. So this is the first question. And frequency and relative frequency, percentage and relative frequency. Okay, what is frequency? Frequency is how many something happens. For example, in a class of 30 students, 5 students major in biology. Okay, so the frequency of biology majors is 5. So their frequency are always 0 or positive numbers. It cannot be negative number and integer numbers. But relative frequency are percentages. So you can equate relative frequency to percentages. Because relative frequency is, in the example I just mentioned, 5 students major in biology out of 30 students. So what is that relative frequency? Relative to what? Relative to a whole class of 30 students. So relative frequency in this case is 5 over 30. Okay. Yeah. So in this case, it's you can see their difference. And so 5 over 30 is what? 0.167. And you multiply 0.167 by 100%, you get 16.7%, and that is percentage. So relative frequency actually gives you the concept of percentage, proportion. Okay, and relative frequency is always between 0 and 1. It cannot be greater than 1. Why? Because suppose all 30 students in a class are major in biology. So what is the percentage? What's the relative frequency of biology major students in a statistics class? It's 100%. Can it be greater than 100%? Impossible. Because if you have 1.5, which is 150% relative frequency, that means out of 30 students in a class, you have 45 students major in biology, and that's impossible, right? So now you know why it cannot be greater than 1. Okay. All right. Next question. So you can see these questions are quite easy and just to warm you up, okay? But we will gradually pick up the speed. We'll gradually increase the difficulty level, all right? So here, what's the frequency? And as you can see, what you can do here is click to open in Excel, and then sort the data, okay? Open it in Excel, and then sort your data, and then count how many is freshman, how many is sophomore, junior, and senior. I think you can easily do this, okay? And you don't even have to count. You just need to select the range of the of each categories. Here we have 4 categories: freshman, junior, sophomore, and senior. Okay, so what you need to do is to sort. Click on that, and sort the data. Sort the data. Okay, ascending order. You see, it's done. And then I select the range, right? I don't select everything. For example, I select 4 of them. I don't even have to count, and it shows 4. Count 4 in the lower right column where you see my mouse. Count is 4. You see that? And or junior, if I select 3 junior, you see the count is 3. Okay. So in this way, you can easily count all the frequencies. Again, I say frequency are just how often something appears between 0 and 4. I mean, between 0 and sorry, it's 0 and in positive integer numbers. Okay, now here is to test whether you practice, where you can create a dot plot. Okay, a dot plot. Oh, okay. A dot plot shows a dot for a value. Okay, so what you need to do is again, you can sort the data the way you just did. And so then you can see how many under 31, 30. Actually, there's only 1 for 30. How many for 36? 36, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 36. So what you need to do is to choose one that has 4 for 36. You see, the first one is incorrect because you only have 2 dots. You should have 4. Okay, so on and so forth. So this is dot plot. Okay, in a dot plot, you see what? You see these you see frequency, frequency 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, if A is correct, and you have 4 frequency for 33. So on and so forth. You see frequency, you see distribution, okay, and you see value. All right. Okay, so this is question 4. And then question 5 is to determine the frequency distribution. So here you have to what? It says a class width of 5. A class width of 5. Okay. How do you 12 to 16? How many what's the class width? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 5, right? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 5 of them. So so what is the next one? It should be what? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 16, 20, 20 and 20 to 25 and so forth. Okay, and then you count. Again, you open the data and then sort it in Excel, and then to select a range that's between 12 and 16. So it should be 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and then 22, 21, 23, 24, 25, so on and so forth. And you count these numbers that fall into these categories, this anxiety range, and you will count the frequency. Okay, now this is stem and leaf. Stem and leaf is another graphical way to describe your data. Similar to dot plot, only it's usually displayed in the horizontal, in the landscape way. The dot plot is portrayed in a portrait format. Okay, and what you can see is usually you divide the numbers in two parts. For example, 102 into two parts, 10 and 2. And then 140 into 14 and 0, so on and so forth. So the first part on the left-hand side is stem, and right-hand side is leaf. So how many, if you divide 102 in two parts, is 10, 2. 10, and then 2. So to the right of 10, you should have 2, right? This second option doesn't have 2, so it's incorrect. And let's look for another one. And then there's another 10, 4. So it should have 4. So the first one is incorrect. The second one is incorrect. And then you should also have a 0. You should also have a 9, and so forth. So in this way, you will be able to find the correct answer, correct his stem and leaf. And in the stem and leaf, you also see value in the vertical axis and its frequencies associated with those value categories, value range, intervals, and then frequency, yeah. Okay, and then its distribution. All right, you see, as you can see, if each one of these are correct, then you see the distribution is different. The first one is like uniform. The second one is like symmetric. Okay, the third one is like skewed to the right. So by creating excuse me, by creating stem and leaf plot, you see the distribution of the data. So you can see it's not hard at all. And if you want to build a stem and leaf, you can also refer to the Excel, or if in the website in StatDisk. Okay, if it's not there in the StatDisk, then you can search. Usually in YouTube, you can find stem and leaf using Excel, and you will be able to find it using that keyword. Okay, and this is what to determine the distribution, whether it's multimodal, bimodal, unimodal, right? Multimodal, that means you have many peaks. Okay, bimodal, you have 2 peaks, like 2 mountain hills. Okay, 2 mountains. And unimodal has only 1 peak. Multimodal has more than 2, so on and so forth. So you can see then the answer is very obvious. Okay, and this is again stem and leaf. As mentioned before, the answer is quite obvious. If you rotate this stem and leaf 90-degree counterclockwise, it will have what, tail to the right. When something has tail to the right, we call it right skewed. If the tail, this is the tail part, rotated 90-degree counterclockwise, the tail is to the right, so it's called right skewed. If the tail is to the left, it's called left skewed. Okay, if there's no tail, it's symmetric, is symmetric. All right, so you can see what your answer is in this case. The bar graph represent the money supply in trillions, 1 or 2 months. Okay, I'll leave this one to you. Obviously, yeah, I will leave this one to you. There should be more than one sub questions in each question, so make sure you answer all of them. And you have unlimited attempts for all your questions, so you don't be afraid to try, and only the highest scores will be recorded. So the design is not meant to fail you or frustrate you. The design is so that you can practice until you fully understand what you are doing and apply what you did in this to a real world situation. Of course, these are just assignments. The more practical ones are the project. Okay. What type of graph is display? Okay. This is called what? Let me see. Okay. You need to take a look and then see. Let's pop out. Okay. 0, 1, 0, 2. Okay. Well, this is normally it's a histogram. Histogram is this. We won't get into too much detail of it. Okay. By the way, every time we meet, we cannot cover everything. You have to do the study partially to make up all the contents, but I will try to cover as much as we can. Excuse me. So you can see we divide the data range in range is from the minimum to the maximum of the data. Then you find a range, which is the difference between the maximum and the minimum, and divide it by a number. That number is the number of bars you want to show in your histogram.